In this video, you're going to learn how to solve systems of equations using elimination. In order to use elimination, we first must understand what elimination means. So we're going to start by looking at the definition for eliminate. Eliminate means to get rid of, or for us in terms of math, we want to cancel out. Now, in math, in order for us to eliminate or to cancel something out, then there's some stipulations. We must have the same variable, the same coefficient, with opposite signs. So if I had 7x and negative 7x, they have the same variable, they have the same numerical coefficient, and the signs are opposite. So these would cancel each other out. So that's going to be our goal with all of our problems now. We're going to choose a variable and decide which variable we're going to eliminate. We're going to use multiplication and our LCM to make sure it cancels out. Now, with LCM, you should be able to go back to 6th grade. LCM means least common multiple. So if I were given the numbers 3 and 2, my LCM would be 6. So maybe it's easier for you to think about the LCM as being like finding a common denominator. So here are the steps. Now, the steps are quite lengthy, but I think it's a lot easier once we start working problems and you actually see me using the steps in a problem, then they will become easier. So you can pause the video at this point and make sure you jot down these steps. Okay, so here's example 1. Now, we're going to first rewrite these problems so that they're stacked on top of each other. If you look at both of these equations, they are in standard form. So I'm going to write negative 5x plus 4y equals negative 21. And then I have 5x minus y equals 9. All right, so let's check and see if we have a variable that are already opposites. So when I check my x, this first x is a negative 5x and the second x is a positive 5x. Since these are opposite already, we're going to go ahead and combine our like terms. Now, when we're combining our like terms, negative 5x and positive 5x cancels out. 4y minus y gives us 3y. A negative 21 plus 9 gives us a negative 12. And now I'm going to divide by 3 to solve for this variable. And I'm going to have y equals negative 4. Now, once you find the value of one of the variables, then all you have to do is choose one of the two given equations, substitute that value in to find the other value. So I'm going to use the second equation. My second equation is 5x minus y equals 9. So I'm going to go, and in place of y, I'm going to substitute a negative 4. So it's going to be 5x, subtract the negative 4 equals 9. Negative times a negative is positive. So 5x plus 4 equals 9. Now I'm going to subtract 4. And I get 5x equals 5. Divide by 5. And we get x equals 1. So the solution for this system, because we write them as an ordered pair, is 1, negative 4. And you can check it by substituting 1 and negative 4 back into both equations and see if it works. Now let's look at our second example. So in my second example, I'm going to go ahead and stack these problems. It's 3x plus 5y equals negative 10. 5x minus 2y equals 4. Now, when I examine both equations, then you're going to notice that we don't have variables that are already same coefficient and opposite signs. So at this point, you can decide which variable you want to eliminate. So I'm going to look at what we would do on both. So we were going to eliminate the x. So when I look at my x values here, my coefficients are 3 and 5. Then I know that the least common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So your goal is to make the coefficient of these x's become 15. One has to be negative and one has to be positive. So you will have to multiply the first equation by 5 or by negative 5, and then you would multiply the second equation by 3, or by negative 3, or positive 3. All right, so you have to work with this pair or with this pair, because then we will get a positive 15 and a negative 15. Now, if you decide, well, I don't want to eliminate the x, I want to eliminate the y. When you look at your y's, you will notice that they already have opposite signs. So the only thing that we got to do is make them have the same numerical coefficient. We have a 5 and a 2, so I know that my LCM is 10. So what we could do is multiply first equation by 2 and multiply the second equation by 5. So we're going to work it both ways. To eliminate the x, I would take my first equation, multiply by 5. In the second equation, I would have to multiply by negative 3 in order to get that negative 15 we need. So this would give us 15y, 15x. 15x plus 25y equals negative 50. The second one is negative 15x plus 6y equals negative 12. Combine my like terms, these cancel. 25 plus 6 is 31y equals negative 62. If I divide by 31, you're going to get y equals negative 2. Now, once you get your y value, you can go back to any equation, substitute it in, and get your x value. So you're going to have 3x plus 5 times negative 2 equals negative 10. 3x minus 10 equals negative 10. We're going to add 10 to both sides. 3x equals 0. Divide by 3. X equals 0. Okay? So that ordered pair is 0, negative 2. All right, so now I'm going to take all of this work away, and I'm going to do it by eliminating the y, just to show you that we will still get the same answer. And I'll leave the answer there so you can compare. All right, so now to eliminate the y's, you tell me to multiply the first equation by 2, second equation by 5. So it's going to be 2 times 3x plus 5y equals negative 10. 5 times 5x minus 2y equals 4. You're going to get 6x plus 10y equals negative 20. 25x minus 10y equals 20. You're going to have 31x. These cancel, equals 0. Divide by 31. And I still get x equals 0, which was the same thing that we got by eliminating your x. And now I'm going to take the x equals 0, go back to the equation. We'll use the second one this time. 5 times 0 minus 2y equals 4. And you get negative 2y equals 4. Divide by negative 2. And y equals negative 2. So a different method, and we still get the same answer. Okay, for example 3. Example 3. I'm going to stack the equations. 6x plus 5y equals 11. Negative 12x minus 9y equals negative 21. So now I'm looking at my equations and I'm studying my coefficients to think about my least common multiples. So if I look at the x, the LCM for my x would be 12. The LCM for my y would be 45. So now I'm going to think, which one will it be easier for me to eliminate? And that will be the x. So my work for this problem is going to show that we're going to eliminate the x. All right, your LCM is 12. And if you notice, the second equation already has a negative 12. So the first equation needs a positive 12. So we're going to take the first equation and I'm going to multiply by 2. So first equation, multiply by 2. That new equation becomes 12x plus 10y equals 22. The second equation stays at negative 12x minus 9y equals negative 21. When I combine my like terms, your x's cancel. 10y minus 9y is y equals 22 minus 21 is 1. So y is equal to 1. Now I can take either of my given equations, go back, substitute 1 in for y to get x. I'm going to take the first one, which was 6x plus 5y equals 11. And it's going to be 6x plus 5 times 1 equals 11. 6x plus 5 equals 11. We want to subtract 5 from both sides. That gives me 6x equals 6. Divide by 6. And x equals 1. So, your solution for this problem, written as an ordered pair, would be 1, 1. Now, if you had decided that you were going to eliminate the y's, you could do that, but you would need to multiply the first equation by 9 and the second equation by 5. And then that way your y's would cancel, but you would still get a 1 for x and a 1 for y. Now, if there's anything that you didn't quite get this first time through, go back, watch the video again, make sure you're taking notes, write down any questions that you may have for me for later. All right, so here are 3 problems. I want you to try these 3 problems and bring them to class with you and be able to show that you've actually tried. And with all of these problems, you are using elimination.